Welcome back to Bytes and Brews, everybody. Today, we will be reviewing the HTC VIVE
and the PSVR.
But in order to help us with the review, we have Modern Times
Modern
Times is the company.
Oh, the beer is Blazing World?
Blazing World is the,
Okay.
Yeah,
because both are applicable.
Right. So yes, because it's in Modern Times we have VR, and because we're blazing a new world into the virtual reality, whatever. We mainly
bought it because of the description on the back. The first sentence is, "This beer is the stickiest of the icky."
So it's an amber ale.
It's an amber. It's a hoppy, dank amber.
It's a blast wave of dankness. That's not our description. It says it on the can.
It's a luxuriously hoppy amber, loaded with intemperate quantities of Nelson Sauvin, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops.
Which are the fruitiest, most pungent hops.
Sweet, sweet money can buy.
I like these guys. I like this brewing company. Modern Times, I like you. Let's see if I like your beer.
Kind of smells like an IPA.
Yeah, that's pretty IPA-ish, man. That's the most IPA amber ale I've ever tasted.
This beer is vegan. I'm done with it.
Done.
I like meat in my beer, good sirs. So the VIVE.
The VIVE. We'll start with the VIVE. I thoroughly enjoyed the VIVE. Thank you again, DFUS, for letting us use yours. We had a good time. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, and check out motionarmy.com if you want to check out more of DFUS's stuff. We'll do it like we always do, pros and cons, right? What is our favorite part of the VIVE? My personal favorite part of the VIVE is the gaming library, because it's intimately tied with Steam.
Right.
So there's a massive selection to choose from. An insane amount of experiences already, because not only has it been out longer than the PlayStation VR, but it's also been more...
it's more directly tied to devs.
Right, because like with anything, like even if you're just talking about the console PC like argument in general, indie games and indie developers always start on PC.
Right.
So there's way more to choose from.
For me, my pro is absolutely the room scaling.
Yeah.
Like, I have never, that's my first time experiencing anything like that.
For those of you who don't know what room scaling is, essentially it takes multiple cameras and is able to create a cube essentially around the player. And you have full range of motion within that cube.
Yeah.
It's just way better at tracking motion, and you can actually stand and do things rather than just being restricted to like a chair.
Yeah.
Okay, cons. Cons. What didn't we like about the HTC VIVE?
Same answer.
Did you say
room scaling? While room scaling was awesome, we found ourselves hitting a lot of things or tripping over cords.
Is that a wall? That's a wall. Okay. I punched DFUS's window a couple of times.
I punched you.
Down! Dang. Put it down! Put it down!
When we played it at DFUS's, it was the smallest possible room
area
thing that it could have had. So, and it was a lot of room. It was a decent amount of room.
But the fact that you need that much room, and not to mention...
That's the minimum.
Right. Like, not to mention that there was quite a lot of setup involved with that, too. Like, room scaling is a great technology, but it's not very consumer-based yet.
Room scaling also has a negative in the column for the fact that you are moving around. It's not wireless. So you're constantly potentially tripping and pulling on cords and unplugging the whole system and shutting everything down.
Yeah, I mean that's
have to boot it back up repeatedly.
3 or 4 times. That's a potential that could happen. Maybe. I mean, I've never experienced that. It could happen though.
It could happen.
So my con is the same answer too.
The vast amount of games.
The vast amount of games, because that's
a bad.
That's a bad because it's not well curated. There's a lot of shit out there, man.
Yeah,
and when I mean, like, and I'm not saying like shit as in quantity, I'm saying shit as in quality.
Yeah.
There is a lot of crappy VR experiences out there. If we're going to talk about Steam, we have to talk about how horribly curated Steam is. Like, there's so many crap games on Steam, whether it's VR or not. They do not look at their stuff very well. Like,
but some of those shit games go on to sell a ridiculous amount of copies, like farming simulator.
Yeah, and you know what? 50 Shades of Grey was a thing too, Robert. That doesn't mean I want to read it. There's a lot of developers out there that like mean well, but then there's also a lot of developers out there that don't, and they're just trying to get your dollars. And
there's a lot of people that make games like Bound.
Right, oh God.
Which does have a VR experience.
Oh God, really? This is exactly what I mean. This is exactly what I mean, man. Who lets that shit slide? Like, it's just like anybody can make a game and be like, hey, it's VR. Like, so yeah, that's my negative, is that you gotta be really careful. Read user reviews, do your research, because the distributor is not going to do it for you.
Plus, everything that does well on the Steam Marketplace usually just gets ported to the console anyways.
Right. Which brings us to our next...
The PSVR.
The PSVR. PlayStation VR we got to play around with because of Alex Plasko. Thank you, Plasko. Check out Plaskotography. He does some really good stuff. Also, the Motionarmy web link and Plaskotography is going to be in the description of the video if you want to check them out. Yeah, they're good stuff.
Because if you don't...
We're just going to sit here and shake our fists more.
We'll send Plasko to take pictures of you unwillingly
while you're sleeping. He'll do it too. You go first. What's your favorite thing about the PlayStation VR?
I'm gonna go the Jew route here, and I'm gonna say,
because that's not racist.
No, they know that they're good with money. Anyways, the PSVR is half the price of the Vive.
Yeah,
and it's not half the experience.
Not to mention, like, we're just talking about the unit itself. You also have to consider the system you need to play the unit. You know, like a PlayStation 4 is what, like $300-400 now?
Right.
If you're gonna try to get...
You don't have to have the Pro.
No, you can use the classic PlayStation 4 and it still works. That's what we were using, and our experience wasn't diminished at all.
Nope.
You know, but if you're trying to play an HTC VIVE, you need a high-end PC to run that.
At least, like, probably $1,000.
I'd say $1,000 minimum.
Yeah.
And then like another, what is it, $800? So by the time you're done with like tax and all that, you're spending 2 G's for the experience that you can get from a PlayStation VR for under $1,000?
Yeah. I mean, granted, it is all seated, pretty much. Like,
right. And the visual quality...
You're moving around. I don't know, man. I didn't experience that much of a...
When I say visual quality, I'm not talking about, like, the screen is... resolution-wise, it's not a significant difference.
Tell.
I could to a very minimal extent, but what I'm specifically referring to is the narrow depth of field, or not depth of field,
field of vision.
Field of vision. So the PlayStation's field of vision is significantly less. It's only noticeable before you really start getting into the game. Like, it was noticeable when I first put the thing on, but as soon as the game starts playing and you really start immersing yourself into the experience, it goes away. Like, you don't notice it anymore. You know, because the quality of the experience is able to kind of distract you from the narrow field of vision.
Bro?
For me? Oh, yeah, I mean, I just even mentioned it, just the construction of the unit. You know, it's very consumer-based.
That's it.
Yeah, the headset, everything. Like everything.
So when we were using the Vive at DFUS's, it was basically like, okay, you stand here, you're going to be playing now, and Robert and I are going to affix all these things to you and make sure everything's...
Let me help you with the helmet, let me put you...
And, let me tighten this fucking thing. Like, yeah. And the
like
PSVR
5 different
is just
straps.
like, oh, this goes on my head and to my face.
Yeah, it's brilliant design. Yeah. It's very consumer based. You can take it on and off very easily. The motion controllers are just meant for it. Like, I don't know if they developed the motion controllers as a precursor to VR, but if they did, brilliant move. Because like the Move controllers by themselves was a complete commercial failure, but bringing it into the VR world is going to make up for it. Which you can make that comparison between just PC and console in general.
Yeah.
You know, the PC is always going to give you, you know, like, I guess a higher quality experience, but it's always way harder to get into it. You know, like if you're just trying to find
the initial investment.
The initial investment money-wise and effort-wise, because not only was the unit itself harder to set up, but did you see DFUS's setup? He needed a camera there, he had a crazy high-end PC with like 3 to 5 cables coming out of the back. I felt like the fucking Predator, man. Like, and then the PlayStation VR was like, oh, PlayStation camera units. Done.
It just like, tracks the lights that has like the glowing lights at the front of the controller on the headset.
It's brilliant
on
design.
the back. I think there's maybe some on the side so it can tell where you're looking, and that's it.
Yeah.
Cons. I got to go back to room scaling. Like, as much of a gimmick as it was on the PC, it makes a difference.
It kind of makes the experience a little bit.
Yeah. There are a lot of times where we're playing games on the PSVR, and they're like, I wanted like that little extra bit of lean, but I'm sitting down, so I can't like. And it did kind of mess up sometimes with. It seemed like it might have had some problems with tracking the Move controller, like the balls on the end of the Move controller when they were passing over maybe some of the other lights on here, or something.
Yeah.
My hand was like this sometimes when I was playing.
Rush of Blood?
Yeah.
Where the shotgun's just like, I got him, guys.
PlayStation's kind of playing it cool, too. They're sitting back, they're watching what's working and what's not working. I'm sure people were complaining about the headsets on the Vive early on. Boom, their headsets super easily managed.
Absolutely.
A bunch of shit games on the Steam Marketplace. They port over the ones like Job Simulator.
Right, which are the ones that everyone's playing.
Exactly.
So, it's good and bad to be on the back end. Yeah. Because you're not the innovator, right? No. But you're the one that can refine the technology.
Yeah. So PSVR gets on room scaling.
Then I mean they're going to get there eventually, and probably by the time they do that, Vive might be doing something new.
Haptic feedback chest pieces.
Right, it's a full body armor,
like attachments. I'll play video games, guys.
My con for PSVR is not even really a con. Like it's because it's not here yet. Like that's like because Sony obviously is a big enough company to start getting some serious heavy hitters into the VR world, and they've already started doing it. You know, you have the Arkham VR. You have like a couple of other ones that they're coming out where like there's big names in gaming. They got a Call of Duty one.
Dude, flight sim.
The flight sim, but so like you can see they're already kind of leaning in that direction. But like I guess I'm just impatient because because I want a fucking Hitman VR experience. Like I want it now. I guess the fact that they have access to all these third-party developers that they already have these strong relationships with, and they haven't taken advantage of it yet. Like they probably have a lot of shit in the works. Yeah. And I'm probably gonna pie in the face me.
Like they launched it too early. Like when you launch, you should have had all these other titles.
Right? Like where was all the launch titles, man? Where was my Hitman experience?
Skyrim?
Where was my Tomb Raider? Where was my Skyrim? Like where's my Elder Scrolls? Where's my Fallout? Like I want these experiences.
Fallout's being done.
Oh, right. And
it's not out.
Right. And Resident Evil's coming out, which I'm super excited about. Like, Biohazard's going to be sweet. We need to get a PSVR, man. Yeah. It's coming out the end of the month. Like, we need a PSVR. I'm buying it. I'm tax write-offs. Fuck it.
It's January.
Ah, shit. They're a smart, like, company. They're gonna space all this shit out. And they're going
to prolong the life.
Yeah. They're going to keep you chomping at the bit for it. Because it's just like, oh, we're just going to hold this back.
Meanwhile, HoloLens is going to be another competitor coming up pretty soon.
Right.
You can't prolong it too long.
Yeah, that's another, like, if we can just talk about the VR world as a whole, I love how competitive it is right now.
Yeah.
Like, because it's going to force people to, like, VR came out of fucking nowhere. Like, before this, like, the closest thing to VR, if you went to, like, medieval times or whatever, like, or
I would go to like Castles and Coasters here.
Right.
They have like those like immersive like domes or like headsets.
Right. But all it was just two screens on the end of like there was no room scaling. There was no like there was none of this. It was literally
the closest
like
we had was GameWorks Tekken. Like
that was bullshit, man. Like I played that and it was terrible. But
for me, I'm taking the PSVR over the Vive. Any day.
Okay, so
if I have money to blow, yes, I'll buy the Vive.
Right, but I don't.
We're normal people with a YouTube channel of 100 subscribers. If we were
what? If we were successful?
I can't remember that fucking dick's name. Not Markiplier.
PewDiePie?
That one.
PewDiePie? And we were PewDiePie, we'd buy 10 Vives just because.
We'd buy 10 Vives. We'd have you guys buy us 10 Vives and tell you that if you did, we would delete our channel. And then we'd laugh in a sea of Vives. You idiots.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. And so, you know, like, comment. There's a comment section somewhere down below.
Up here?
So we want to... No, I don't think it's
this way.
It's Where you'll find it. Go on down there, type in what you think. What do you guys think about? Have you experienced the PSVR? Have you experienced the HTC VIVE? What are your thoughts? We want to know. Because as arrogant and stubborn as we are, we do like to hear other people's opinions, even if we don't necessarily agree with.
It's just going to be Plasko and DFUS arguing in the comments. Mine's better, fuck you.
That'd be great. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we're still stuck in this world for a little while longer till they refine the VR units.
Fuck.
And actually create the Matrix. I call Neo.
I'm down for Sword Art Online, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
As soon as they create a virtual world, I'm done. I'm done with all you fucks.
Dude, yeah, fuck this.
I don't care if I get trapped in there and have to fight for my life to actually survive.
At least Trump's not president.
Be in a coma. He would be. He would buy his way into it.
Fuck! You can't even escape him in the virtual world. Oh man. All right, well. It's been fun, guys. We'll see you on the next one.